Hello, today is April 13th. Today I did another hike into the area just west of Rattlesnake Point, trying to discover new areas and trails and so on. And so the yellow line represents today's hike. So you see my cursor. I parked again in Walker's Line, and we went in the same area as yesterday and ended up at the redneck camp again, but couldn't cross over the stream, so I went all the way back to the road and then re-entered a little further on down and kind of zigzagged trying to find our way. Went over top of these planted fields. I'm not sure what they're growing there, but and then we made our way up the escarpment looking for a trail in the area below the cliffs at Rattlesnake, and did not find anything. Eventually we got onto the unmarked trail out of Rattlesnake Point. I've been on that trail many times, and followed it down to the road, and then took the road back to the car. So that's a look at that. Let me just briefly show you what yesterday's hike looked like. It was more over in this area that we're shifting to. See, yesterday's hike was around the compound, and today's hike, if I can just show you, is more this way. Okay, so that's it. So again, today is April 13th. Parked on Walker's Line. Headed into the same spot we did yesterday. Looking for some trails, and that's the area. Come up against the flooded creek area, and kept on going, and there's that same little tunnel that took us up a path and ended up at Club Redneck, or the Redneck Camp. So we turned around, came back, and the next spot was a trail that leads off to an area that I'm not sure of, and that requires further investigation. But then we had to make our way. We made our way over that mound and ended up in the so-called sand quarry, and then went around behind the mound. Matter of fact, turned around, took a picture of that high mound. So now we're in behind it, and we're following a little ravine, and eventually we came out onto a farmer's field of some sort. He was planting something. We crossed the field and headed into the ravine area. There we are below just a big cliff there. Tried to make our way on the lower slope of the ravine. There was nowhere to go. Eventually we came back up to the top of the trail that leads from the lower parking lot at Rattlesnake Point. This is an unmarked trail that drops you down onto the road below, and it's unserviced. That's why the trees are laying on the side. There we are, headed back down, and eventually you come to the fence line. In July, this will be so overgrown it's hard to find the path, but the path does follow the fence line until it gets to the end and gives you a shot back out onto the road. And there we are. After we did that road, we ended up at the back on Walker's Line, and on the way back there you can see those tall sand dunes that we hiked in behind there. And those big rocks, the reason they're there, I suppose, is to keep the vehicles from going into that area, and I guess it was a partying zone there at Camp Redneck. So there we are back at the car. All in all, did not find any trails that I'd like to do again.